Hi everyone, Eileen here. It's the weekend, so I'd like to share with you another couple of Lavinia Stamps video tutorials from me to you. Today I'm featuring one of the new release Lavinia Stamps stencil masks. Here it is, and it's the flower mask. So this is the card that I've made, so let's get going. I've taken a piece of A4 Lavinia Stamps multifarious cardstock in white. I've folded it, creased it and cut it to 14 centimetres square, and I believe that's 5.5 inches square. Popping the stencil down into the middle, not using any tape or anything, so just holding it tightly, well, as tight as you can. I'm using a tea dye distress ink for the middle of the card. Now, I don't use this very often, this colour. I think it's underrated and I do love it. So, going to give it an airing today. Makeup brush, just a small one. Now, this pad is quite dry. I've had it a long time. Just popping it in the middle and, yeah, just take off the first layer if it's too strong a colour. And very gently, just skimming across the surface. No pressure at all on the head of the brush. Circular motion from the middle. Just kissing the cardstock. And without moving the stencil, very gently. Ugh, that's the only thing, you've got to keep it so it doesn't move. Moving to another colour. Well loved this one, Shaded Lilac. Another brush, of course. Hold it down. It is easy to reposition if you do move it. And I'm just avoiding these outer edges. I'm just going up the petals, trying to hold it into place in the middle. Re-inking when I have to. This pad is a lot drier than the other one. Want to get colour on every petal, whether it's plain or it's got a pattern on it. Holding this down as best I can. It is fiddly, but it's worth it. Bit more ink. Again, be guided by how wet your ink pad is. If it's too wet, I'm not looking to swamp it with ink. I want a nice fade out look from the flower. Just ensure all these tiny holes in the pattern, in the stencil, have some ink through them. Oh, look. Oh, I'm pleased with that. That's good. And everywhere else is quite white. Bit of a mark there, but that will go. Right. Stamping next. Versifying Claire Nocturne. This is a fairly new pad. First stamp I'm going to do is called Just For You Words. And it's from a set called Heartfelt Verses. You get 4 in the set. With Love, Just For You, which is the one I'm using. Birthday Wishes, and With Love and Sympathy. Useful stamps to have, I believe, and the fonts are really lovely. This one is quite delicate. So gentle tapping onto the ink pad, or rather on the ink pad to the stamp, which is always best. Make sure it's straight And then I'm just going to hover over, try and get the F, letter F, into that circle. And then I'll know the rest will follow suit, you know, be in a straight line. And then down, press, and up. Don't press too heavily on this. You can squash your letters and it won't come out too well, but that looks good. Just for you. And next, it's that beautiful little hair. Called Whimsical Hair Set, this one. And you get 3, and this is one of them. 3 hairs, this is one of them. He is my favourite, I have to say. All the ladies at my workshops know that I use this one a lot. He looks so appealing. Gentle tapping. And then just going to pop him down in the corner, but not right to the bottom of the card. Like so. So these actually in the flower as well, but also grounded at the bottom. Quick blast of the heat gun so that I don't smudge the ink. And then I'm going to ground him with warm grey polychromos pencil, not making too much fuss though. So just going to lightly just give him something to stand on. You can use anything. Use a stamp if you wish, or another mask, some ink and a brush, but pencil for me is easy because I can erase any mistakes that I make. Well, that will do. That just gives him a slight shadow. And then I'm going to use some flowers to make it look a bit pretty. These are gems that I bought from Amazon. And it came along with one of these really useful pair of tweezers. I'm trying to see the name of these gems. It's not on there. Hey-ho. Sorry, no name, but Amazon is where I bought them. So I've taken a few out to begin with because they are all different sizes and some of them are really tiny, so therefore a bit fiddly. I'm using some wet glue. Any old glue will do. Popping that down onto my spare piece of copy paper. Bring this down a bit. Pick up one gem at a time, which is easy to do with these tweezers. And where shall I put this? I think I'm going to put them here. I had the stencil in a different configuration on the original card, but it doesn't really matter which way it goes down. Looks very pretty. Bit more glue. 3. Stuck to my finger, not to the card. Oh, come on. That's good. All right, nearly there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I'll leave the 5. I've got 7, but I think 5 does it for me. So I'm going to leave it there. Change this sheet over. Well, just fold that over. Don't want to waste it. But that wet glue would have got everywhere otherwise. And then the final thing is, I need to clean my stamps. So I've got a wet cloth and I'm cleaning those. Cleaning the hair and our dry cloth. So he's done. And what have I done with the other one? There it is. So wet cloth, clean the ink off of the words. Don't know what that was. Something's gone bang upstairs. And that's clean. This saves me making a mask because I'm going to do some whacking with some white paint. Just covering up my hair and the words. And then taking a Posca paint pen, just giving it a really good shake. And then with a Perfect Layers ruler, just giving the card, splashing all over with some white paint. I think I'm running out of paint in this pen. Oh, here it comes. I'm really having to work for it, so I'm going to get a different pen. Won't be a moment. Right, I've got a new one. That's better. Out it comes. All over everywhere. As you've covered the words and your image, it won't spoil those. And this paint pen nib is bullet shaped and it's 0.7 millimeters, so it isn't giving me huge splashes. I don't want anything too much to cover the image, so I'm just looking for gentle splashes, small splashes, and that's what I've got. Remove the hair image and my words, so they're not touched by the paint. And there it is. Done. That's the one that I've just made. This is the original, and the tea dye is not so heavily coloured in the middle. The tea dye ink, Distress ink, and I think I prefer this one. But that one's quite nice as well. Paid your money, takes your choice. Thank you for looking today. And I'll be back tomorrow with another Lavinia Stamps video tutorial from me to you. Have a nice Saturday. Bye-bye.